The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Saturday, and you know what that means? It's time for all the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interested you. And this week, a lot of different stuff going on, a lot of cool stuff to talk about here. A possible GI Joe HasLab, leaked pictures of the first round of Super 7 Ultimate Series 2 GI Joe, including my boy Flint. Got to talk about that. Of course, wrestling figure news, Marvel Legend figure news, He-Man news, you name it, all in this week's edition of Toy News. But let's do a little housekeeping at the front. At the beginning here, of course, Patreon giveaway for the month of May is the Ultimate giveaway. Ultimate Warrior. This is the giveaway this month for Patreon members. Follow along on the old Patreon, your best way to support the channel, as I always do say. That is the May giveaway, and we're getting dangerously close to doing a big giveaway here on the channel, as we're dangerously close to 30,000 subscribers. We just hit 29,000 subscribers on this very YouTube channel, so if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel, and once we hit 30,000, we're going to do a special top 10. Got to figure out what that top 10 list will be, but we're also going to do a giveaway, and I'm looking at a pile of stuff to give away. I might even do 2 giveaways for 30,000. 5,000, 10,000 subscriber milestones are always big ones. They're all big ones. Every subscriber milestone's a big one. But for 30,000, I feel like we should do a big giveaway. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you have not. And guess what? Tell a friend. Go grab your kid's phone. Go grab your significant other's phone. Subscribe to them. Make them subscribe to me. There you go. That'll get it there. I don't know, but thank you guys and gals for everybody that subscribes. Dangerously close to 30,000, and when we do, we'll have a giveaway. We'll talk about it here on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But let's dive in on all the toy news this week. Of course, hopefully you went back and you watched my video. I think I released it last Saturday or Sunday. What is time? The final recap on the WCW stage. The final nail in the coffin. We're done talking about it after this week. We're moving on to other things that are to come, like a possible GI Joe crowdfunding thing later in this video. But it is the final verdict on the stage, just shy of 4,000 of the 5,000 goal for the first tier. Very disappointing. Broke it all down in that video. Go check that one out. A lot of people throwing out a lot of nasty comments. Oh, controversy, it creates cash. Well, not in this instance, it doesn't, but a lot of negativity around it. But if people really spent the time to watch the video and really dissect it, a lot of us have thoughts out there, but guess what? A lot of our thoughts, they are opinion. No different than mine, but there are some certain facts there. Certain facts about any corporation. I don't care if they're $1 billion or a $10 corporation. They don't want to lose money. They don't want to break even. People saying, oh, they could break even. No company is in business to break even. Nobody is. And if you are, you're not going to be a company very long. But there's a lot of stuff in that video from a business perspective. I even give you a little talk of heartbreak of an item I designed to bring to the market, an item I guarantee 99% of you have tried and put in your mouth at least once in your life. And I talk about that in that very video too. So I think there's a lot of good stuff, a good recap there, maybe from a different perspective. But you guys got to watch the whole video. You just can't comment. So many people comment, they didn't even watch the video. Like, oh, you're just saying it's the greatest thing ever. No, I didn't. Actually, I didn't want to say I threw it under the bus. That's pretty strong terminology, but a lot of the business decisions didn't make a lot of business sense, taking the step back, looking at it later. So check out that video. Long story short, there it is. But RIP to the Nitro stage. We'll see where we go from there. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever see the Raw stage or any other stage ever again. I just think the fans vote with their wallet. People didn't want it. At the end of the day, there's going to be no stages. So we'll see what they go. I hope we get more smaller play sets, maybe more figure stuff. I think that's what the majority of people want. But as Mattel has said in the past, well, we can just release that at regular retail. This is for something really big that wouldn't go to regular retail. So we'll see where it shakes down to. But more wrestling news this week. Shout out to the Major Pod group out there. Old Knick showed off this week some major bendies. Now, I'm not the biggest bendy guy. You guys know that. But I've dabbled over my time. But man, oh man, this is an interesting one for an old school ECW fan like me. We saw the Sandman. We saw Tommy Dreamer. we saw Raven and we saw Sabu. Some ECW Hall of Famers, no doubt. They're going to have a bendy wave of just ECW figures. Very cool idea. Very nostalgic. Very popular ECW, especially back in the day. And I think now still. So I really do like what they're doing there. I'm getting very excited for the big rubber guys from the Major Pod group. I'm very excited for this line. This is one of the lines I'm looking forward to the most, especially for what they could do in the future for that line. So I guess we'll stay tuned, but let's get the pre-orders up on those big rubber guys very soon. But if you're into Major Bendies, check out the ECW pack for sure. KWK, of course, every week there's some kind of announcement there, but we did see 4 different versions of Yoshitatsu. Of course, you get a North American version, an Asia version, Australia, Europe, things like that. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of all the different variations out there. It makes that completionist mind of mine go crazy saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I want to go in on this line because I feel like I need to get all 4, which isn't a good feeling. You don't need to get all 4, but it'll be interesting to see how this goes and how that'll resonate with the audience. Will there be somebody in Australia trading with somebody in Europe? That could be some of the stuff going on there. So we'll see what happens with all this. But if you're into Yoshitatsu, man, you got 4 different versions to choose from. So stay tuned for that as well. Zombie Sailor putting out those teases. Every once in a while we get a release, but we get a lot of teases. Well, we saw Hercules a couple of weeks ago. Now this week he showed off old Paul Roma, of course, of Power and Glory. Looks good. Of course, Paul Roma and Hercules, Power and Glory, was an awesome tag team back in the day. One of those tag teams that are a little bit forgotten after all these years, but was just a game changer back then, and it really, really worked. Hercules was kind of on the downslide. Paul Roma just was always kind of there. Putting those together, putting them with Slick, a sick finishing move with that suplex splash off the top. Just an absolute game changer. Always loved that Survivor Series team with the Warlord, Power and Glory, and Rick Martel. I loved that team. I thought that was a great Survivor Series team. Just a lot of cool stuff coming from Zombie Sailor. A lot of stuff filling holes in our collections. I do wonder, will we get the Mattel Jazzwares style figures of Power and the Glory in the future? I would love to see that. I'd love to see the One-Man Gang, Dino Bravo, the Road Warriors, Demolition, all those other ones. I have to think Zombie's a smart businessman. He's going to have those in there, and really there's a lot of fan base that would really love those. So I hope that all happens. I hope it's just before, I'm 50 years old or whatever it is, but we'll see what happens there. Continuing on wrestling, it's time for the Power Town Conspiracy segment of the week.
You ever wonder if they're watching your every move? Cell phones, internet, surveillance. Think about it.
And thankfully, and I am very thankful of this, the Power Town Conspiracy could be possibly coming to an end very, very soon. Of course, they're supposed to be in our hands this month. I don't know, I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm really hopeful. But I did see a post where a wrestling promoter, was it Herb Simmons out of St. Louis, had a limited amount of these he was going to be selling at an indie show this weekend. So apparently he got his Power Town figures. Not exactly sure how, but I guess that would mean, you would think, they're going to start shipping any time now or already have shipped. But man, oh man, I'm excited. Get me those Power Town figures. We have a lot of fun about them on the channel here. There's still a ton of questions to be asked. Where is that first load of figures? Whatever happened to them? It's like the Zapruder film with the Kennedy assassination. Was there a second shooter? Was there a second boat of Power Town, or a first boat in this instance? Where's the Remco line? Still says announced in January 2023. Still no comment on that. Where is all that kind of stuff? But it does sound like Power Town Series 1 is going to be here very soon. You know I'm going to unbox every single one of those on the channel. I am very excited. This really has a chance to be my modern day classic superstars. So I'm very excited for this line. I have very high hopes for this line, and I can't wait to get them here on my hands. Can't wait till my order comes in, and we'll talk about it when that does happen. But our conspiracy, the long conspiracy, could be coming to an end in certain instances. We'll see what happens there. So stay tuned for more Power Town news. Now turn our attention over to some other stuff. Turn our attention to NECA. NECA came out of left field last Friday night, right after I got done filming toy news, of course. But they did come out with an Iron Maiden figure. It looks like we're taking it back to the Number of the Beast. We got a brand new Iron Maiden figure. All in on Iron Maiden. You guys know me, metalhead. Love the Iron Maiden figures we've got from NECA in the past. This one should be no different. Can't wait to get this one. And I don't know if we've ever done an unboxing of Iron Maiden on the channel, so that should be a fun one when that time does come, so stay tuned for that. And then we also saw Freddie Mercury. And I feel like we already had this back in the day and it's a re-release. I am by no means a huge Freddie Mercury fan. I know the whole Queen catalog. I owned all the albums at one time. Brian May is one of the greatest guitarists of all time. And I enjoy a little bit of Freddie Mercury. A lot of people love the voice. The voice is maybe a little too much for me to time, but no doubt one of the greatest bands of all time. And you could very easily make the fact they are bigger now than they've ever been. Very popular with the movie release, all that kind of stuff. Sold out tours even without Freddie Mercury. Their back catalog still at the top of the charts. Crazy time, but Freddie Mercury figure coming from NECA. And then NECA, we knew this was coming, we just didn't know when. Well, it sounds like this fall. Perfect for the Halloween season. Gremlins 2 Bat Gremlin. Going to be re-released. I'll definitely be picking that one up. Passed on that back in the day. Going to pick it up now. Of course, go with the Spider Gremlin. And we just unboxed Gremlins 2, the tattooed Gremlins on the channel this week. So check that one out if you did miss that video. So all good in the Gremlins line of things going on right now. We also saw a little bit one out of left field this week, and maybe not everybody's talked about this one yet, but Playmates. It looks like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Playmates figures starting to hit Walmart, but we got a whole new wave going on. We got Rat King, we got Wingnut, we got Genghis Frog, and we got Baxter Stockman. So some more re-releases there. For people like me that had some of those when I was a kid, sold them, long gone. This is very nostalgic going back and down this road and getting some figures I never had back in the day. And I'm going to have a shelf of all these Playmates ones together. We've been unboxing them on the channel, so I'll be on the lookout in my figure hunt weekly for the next couple of weeks trying to find these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Playmate figures. So very cool to see that for longtime Turtle fans. Now we turn our attention over to Storm Collectibles this week. Two different announcements from Storm Collectibles. Of course, it seems that Big Bad Toy Store, good friend of the channel, Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description below. Click the link to support the channel if you go to order at Big Bad Toy Store. But they did announce this week two different Storm Collectible figures. And like I said, Big Bad Toy Store exclusives. We are getting Mortal Kombat Shiva. Everybody loves a four-armed creature, especially a four-armed female creature. Yes, and that's what Shiva is. She is coming to the market, Mortal Kombat, this fall as well. So we got to have her to pair up with Goro. Oh, the dream team. 8 arms between them. How about that? But you can get that at Big Bad Toy Store. And then a little bit of a deep cut. Got to get the most out of your molds. But Storm Collectibles Golden Axe. 3 different dragons at $100 a pop. Different color combinations. If you want to build out a little dragon army, you need some extra dragons. Here you can do that. A very good mold. A very good figure for that dragon. We unboxed it on the channel. I just don't know if I need 3 more in my collection. But you never know. They might have a big one-day sale every day. Big Bad Toy Store has been doing one-day sales and weekend sales. Some steals of deals out there. I've been posting about it in some of my social media stuff. So make sure you follow me on social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. Of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. But we got some of that for you Storm Collectible fans. Skeleton Warriors He-Man 2-packs. We saw the artwork here. These really did steal everybody's heart about a year ago or so. What is time, as we do say. As a great army builder pack, everybody loves a skeleton. Stay tuned for weekly purchases tomorrow for some more skeleton figures into my collection. But I like the looks of this one. This is a great army builder pack. I think I have 2 on pre-order currently. I might have to get 4 packs of these. I think these will look really cool, especially I have visions. You guys know I love a good display. I love action figure displays, and I have visions at night. I sit and think about, okay, Eternia's coming, Snake Mountain's coming, I have Grayskull. How am I going to display this? What am I going to do? And I got some great ideas, and these Skeleton Warriors are going to be a great part of that idea in the future. So stay tuned. Maybe 2024, 2025's collection tour. We'll see what happens there once Eternia comes, and it sounds like that's going to be spring 2024. So we'll have to wait and see there. Maybe we'll do a special video at the time. We'll see. But a lot of people are excited about this one. Fan channel exclusive, so pre-order for wherever you need to. Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, wherever, because you don't want to miss this set. I think it's going to be a sleeper set this year. Can't wait to get that in the collection. How about a little NECA talk this week? Batman 66 coming out of left field. Have no idea what the heck these came from. Just out of left field, and I will tell you, DJC Collectibles, link in the description below. Great supporter of the channel. Use code 8OFFDJC. These are going to be in stock up there next week. They are going to be shipping these out next week. Batgirl finally coming, and then another Robin and another Batman in their scuba diver gear, we'll call it there. Getting the most out of your molds, and we're seeing this theme with Batman 66. We're seeing 2 easy repaints and 1 new figure for the most part, most of the time, and that's what we're seeing right here. But if you're after it, DJC Collectibles can get it to you next week. So I'll probably get Batgirl next week. I think I'll play the long game on the other 2. We'll see what happens there. But we got some Batman 66 announcements this week. I don't even think it's been officially announced by McFarlane yet, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. And then we also saw a Sinestro Corpse Batman coming, a little gold label Batman. I don't know anything about this. Of course I know Sinestro. Of course I know Batman. I don't understand this one, but man, deep cuts for Batman continue. This one, not for everybody, but that's the perfect gold label exclusive. A place that's not for everybody. You just go there and get it if you want it. Not sure if this is going to set the world on fire. I guess you guys tell me in the comments down below. Marvel Legends, a quiet week for Marvel Legends this week, and I got some things I want to talk about Marvel Legends, but I probably can't right now, so I'll zip my lip up there. But Drax Moondragon 2-pack, a big Drax figure, and it's funny as that was Drax back in the day. Most people now, they hear Drax, this is not what they think of. It's crazy how time changes perception, changes looks of characters and stuff. But for those looking for a comic version, man, this is the way to go. And $50 feels like a good price for this set. So go to Hasbro Pulse, as it is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive up on Hasbro Pulse right now. I definitely got my pre-order in there. So that's an interesting one. Super 7 this week, I'm not sure. As of recording this video, I'm not sure if we're talking Ultimates or we're talking Reaction here, but it is a new line. We've seen the worst. Now we're going to see the weirdest. A very interesting looking set of figures. Like I said, not sure if it's Reaction or Ultimates. I really enjoy crazy stuff like this, and I know some people love Super 7. Some people hate Super 7. We're going to talk about something that could be really controversial here in a second, but not sure exactly what to think of these figures. I'd be interested. A Bigfoot in a trash can, that's right up my hairy bipedal creature alley, so I'm going to wait and see what these look like, but I will probably pick these up. Of course, you guys know I always go to Entertainment Earth. I wait for them to hit off the truck, then you save 10% off the bat, and you're off to the races. So that's what I'll probably do with these in the future. We're a long way to go, and as you know what Jerry Reed always says, we've got a long way to go and a short time to go. He said it better than I could, so I will probably end up picking these up, depending if they're Ultimates, depending if they look good, of course. But interesting, the weirdest coming, and something that looked really, really weird. We did see pictures coming around starting last week. It looks like Super 7 is shipping Ultimates GI Joe Series 2. Give me the Flint. Give me the Flint. I need the Flint. But apparently these are shipping out. I do have them pre-ordered from multiple places, so we'll see who ships first. Then I will cancel after that. But I'm very excited for the GI Joe Super 7 Ultimates wave. You guys saw the reviews here on the channel. Hopefully you did. This is the GI Joe line I've been waiting my entire life for. I wanted cartoon-accurate GI Joe figures. I was in love with Series 1. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Now, Series 2 has me extremely worried here because we saw some pictures of Flint, and it looks like they stopped painting the face. There's a lot of comparisons with Duke and Flint. Duke looks breathtaking, looks awesome. Flint looking like a little bit something to be desired there. I'm just a little nervous about it because you guys know Flint's my all-time favorite. This is my dream figure, and the renders and the actual product not looking a whole lot like each other there. And we see that a lot from Super 7, unfortunately. But man, oh man, I'm hoping these are good when I get them in hand. Everything looks good except the face, but we'll see. The picture adds stuff. I need to see him in hand. But man, this Flint is like my most wanted figure of all time. I just can't. My heart can't take it. I just can't take it. I'm going to have an AED over here. You have to have my wife watching when I unbox that thing because it could go south in a hurry. They might be pulling out the, in those AEDs, they come with like a razor blade. They get the chest hair off and man, you're off to the races. So we'll see what happens there, but I'm a little bit nervous. I got to be honest. I'm a little bit nervous about that one, but give me the Flint. Give me the Flint tomorrow. I need Flint. So that's coming very soon, probably the next couple of weeks here on the channel. Keep fingers crossed. We also saw leaked pictures of a figure we knew was coming. It is the Arctic Bat. Got to get the most out of your molds. All kinds of bats. There's bat action all over the place. We got robot armies running around everywhere, but Arctic Bat coming, going to pair perfectly with Snow Job. We'll be interested to see if we get more ice-themed characters like a Snow Serpent. Will we get a vehicle maybe? Who knows? Could we get Iceberg? Bring me the Iceberg. Bring me Frostbite. I need those Joes in my collection too. So we could see some of those guys over the next year or so. But one thing it sounds like we're going to see very, very soon, right before I started filming this video, Hasbro kind of had a leaked message, a little teaser going on. It sounds like things are starting working for the next HasLab. And we talked at the beginning of this video about the WCW stage failing. We talked about the Ghost Rider failing, Star Wars, multiple fails in lightsabers, Rancors, and stuff. But it seems like the Hasbro GI Joe brand riding the high on the Hiss Tank still. A lot of us are excited about that Hiss Tank coming, I think, August, September timeframe. I can't even remember if I ordered 2 or 3 of those. I definitely ordered 2. I think I might have ordered 3. We'll see what happens with these Hiss Tanks. Can't wait for that, but it sounds like they're looking at what's next. And they're going to start stoking the flames a little bit. I would not be shocked to see a live stream in June. Of course, GI Joe June, as they always promote. Would not be shocked to have an announcement sometime in June for the next GI Joe HasLab. And like I said, they're riding the wave, riding that high from the His Tank. Got to think there's going to be a lot of interested parties here. But it's going to be interesting how all this negativity, some of these other crowd funds relate into the GI Joe. A lot of people felt like the His Tank was a great value. It funded very fast. So I got to think there's a lot of GI Joe collectors out there that are willing to purchase things like this. We know the His Tank did very well. Sky Striker did very well. I do expect whatever they announce here will do very well. A lot of early rumors that it's the Havoc. That's an iconic GI Joe brand from the Serpentor era, let's call it. It was a toy I had as a kid. I absolutely love the 2-in-1 vehicles of it. Of course, Cross Country, the driver. You got to get a classified Cross Country with this one. Could we see some other ones? Could we see Lifeline? I believe it would always made me question it, because on the packaging for that as a kid, that little like flying car that comes out of there, Lifeline was steering that thing. And Lifeline, of course, a pacifist, a bane of my existence in my GI Joe days. He would always die really early in my GI Joe battles as a kid. But he was flying that thing. But could we see Lifeline with this set? It'll be interesting to see where this one goes, but I think there's a lot of momentum in the GI Joe brand right now. I absolutely love the figures. I make no bones about it. The GI Joe Classified line and the Mattel Elites are probably by 1 and 2, depending on the day, favorite lines. I am an old school GI Joe guy. I love this era of GI Joe. Dreams are coming true for me in my collecting. I'm getting the Classified line and, of course, Super 7. Hopefully going to continue with that cartoon line. There's a lot of good stuff. So I'm anxious to see what this could be for the next HasLab. As always, stay tuned to the channel. We'll talk about it. We'll break it down. We'll discuss it. Can't wait to talk about the future HasLab for GI Joe. So there it is right there. So that's the toy news of the week. And of course, we segue from toy news into the album of the week. And I'm going to throw a bit of a deep cut, depending how big of a heavy metal guy or gal you are. Album of the week this week. Brand new album came out last Friday. I've listened to it twice so far. Love what I hear here. It is the band Enforcer. It is the album Nostalgia. Nostalgia is something we talk about a lot here on the channel. But Enforcer, I've seen them a few times, 2 or 3 times in concert in my days, in my travels. But Enforcer, I believe from Sweden, maybe. Sweden, somewhere over there. But definitely a great band. New wave of traditional heavy metal. A little bit of glam from time to time. A little bit of thrash metal mixes in from time to time. But it really is new wave of traditional heavy metal, like your Night Demons, things like that. Just a great up-and-coming band. Had quite a few albums out there, but if you love old school metal, you love Die in the Trench metal, this is for you. I definitely recommend Enforcer. They have a lot of good albums. Can't go wrong, but I really like what I'm hearing with Nostalgia. A little bit of everything right here. And one of those metal bands most people don't ever hear about unless you're in the know, and that's, part of the problem. You want these guys to get bigger and outside of the bubble, but at the same time, you want to keep them close into your heart, but it doesn't always happen that way. But if you've never heard Enforcer, it might be something you dig. So that is the album of the week this week. Of course, Mother's Day weekend. Shout out to my wife, Angie. Really my mom at the end of the day. She runs this whole household. She moves all things around, does the kids stuff and all that while I'm on my travels for work and meetings and things and, doing videos, things, all the stuff that I have to do, of course, that nobody cares about. But she's really running the household, running it every single day. So special shout out to Angie. Angie and I have a whole video series up on Patreon right now as we're going through my t-shirt collection. So she was gracious enough to help me out. I think we filmed up to episode 11. I think we're about 15 episodes is what we're going to have to film. So I guess we'll stay tuned for that. And you might see Angie in another unboxing here shortly. I'm trying to get her to do something else with me. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that. But shout out to all you moms out there. And if your mom's still around, if you're lucky enough your mom's still around, say hi to her. Give her a phone call, all that kind of stuff if you can. So there you go. Mother's Day weekend. You don't want to forget. And that is the toy news. That is the album news. That is the end of this very video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the toy news. Anxious to hear you guys. Let me know in the comments what you're excited about. What interested you? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're into the Joes, what do you think the HasLab's going to be? A lot of rumors about Dragonflies. A lot of rumors about the Havoc, of course. I don't think the flag is going to be quite in the cards yet, but wouldn't that be something? We'll see. But let me know your comments on the action figure news of the week in the comments section. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We're up to almost 30,000 subscribers, and we need your help. So make sure you do subscribe. And like I said, we'll announce a giveaway on my social medias at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and of course, this very YouTube channel as well. Once we hit 30,000, so stay tuned for all that. Should be a fun time. Thank all you guys and gals once again for subscribing to this very YouTube channel. I mentioned the Patreon, your best way and early access to all these videos, bonus content, monthly giveaways, Q&As, you name it. There's a lot of bang for your buck over there on the old Patreon channel. And best of all, it does support the channel and all the content. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and we already talked about social media, so you know where to find me there. So for the action figure news of the week, I am Kyle, and you know what I'm doing? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into the weekend.